I would like Rtr.Jal Parikh to go ahead with the first question of our podcast session.
Sir, I'd like to ask you, while others are following sports like cricket and football, what inspired you to follow shooting as a sport?
See, I never wanted to do something that everyone is doing. So I wanted to choose something which is very different from what others are doing. So this sport I found very interesting, and I was fortunate to have this sport in my college. So yes, so my college played an important role in taking up this sport. So I had the opportunity basically. So I started with the sport.
So, what was the reaction of your parents when they got to know that you are choosing this sport?
So basically, I understand, yes. So basically, when I started and when I went home and told my parents that I want to take up the sport, they were like, बंदूक चलाना है, बंदूक चला के क्या करेगा, ये कौन सा स्पोर्ट होता है, कोई खेलना है तो जूडो खेलो, बॉक्सिंग कर लो, वो भी सब मारामारी वाला, लेकिन ठीक है. They were like that, but I knew that I was made for the sport and the sport is excellent. I mean, it's not something which everyone is doing, and ultimately this is what I wanted. So yes, that made me take up the sport.
So, in every
What's been the impact of the sport in your life?
It has a huge impact in my life. Basically, what I would have been done with my life was I would have followed my family business. That is, I am a Marwadi basically, so we have a family business that is hardware and electricals. So we are wholesalers into these products. So I would have followed the same thing, but ultimately when I was playing this sport, I went to my dad. I asked him whether I can choose it as a career, not as a player, but I want to provide some facility which is not available over here. I wanted to make such equipments available which are of international standards and required for sport person so that they grow and make a mark. So my dad said, yes, you can go ahead, surely we can do it, and we created this infrastructure basically after that.
So when anybody takes up the sport, they have their own idol. So who is your idol, your favorite shooter, and why do you admire him or her?
See, I admire Abhinav Bindra a lot. He's a very good sports person. As a person also, he's a very good person. When I met him for the first time, he was very kind, whereas other different kind of shooters let's say for trap shooting or 50-meter shooting, they are not that, it's not that easy to talk to them, and they are not that open. They do not discuss their techniques. So he is a person who had told me everything, that where are you, at what level are you shooting, and so some basic things that made the meeting perfect for me for the first time when I met him. So he's a good person as a human being as well as a sport person. So he's perfectly, whenever he lifts the gun, that's the best part. He does it like a robot. So every time he lifts the weapon in the same angle, keeps it again in the same angle, and then the approach is perfect. So that's why I am inspired by Abhinav Bindra.
So what do you think the future holds for the sport in India?
Down the line, after 5 years, I believe sports industry would be the biggest industry, as food industry is doing good. See, everything follows a circuit. So before this, we had trading as a huge industry. Now online thing came in, and later there will be, there are few portals where everything is delivered to home, your doorsteps. So same thing, food industry is doing good, but everyone is eating junk food. So ultimately gym started doing good. Now people get to know that only growing muscles is not the only thing that you require. So being mentally fit is also important. So ultimately, this industry gives you that. So it gives you mental fitness that is very much required. So down the line, after 5 years, I believe that this will be a very big industry after 5 years.
Yes, sir, definitely. So as you mentioned about your mental, as in you have to maintain your mental fitness as well. So what is that one mental tool that you use, or for example, meditating or something of that sort that you use to ease yourself down or calm yourself or compose yourself before a shooting event? What would that one thing be?
Basically, not thinking about anything. Whenever I keep myself blank, it's the best thing. That will help anyone to be mentally stable and be confident as well. Whenever you think twice before speaking, that makes you more confident, I believe. So this is what I have done over the years. I've so I used to sit down for 5 minutes, do not think about any of the environmental factors that are around me, may it be in the stadium or my competitor as well. Nothing like that. I used to keep quiet, sit down, close my eyes, and think of nothing. So that is ultimately what meditation does.
Yes, sir, definitely. I think these tools like meditating or just not thinking about just blocking the environment or the outside noise,
Right.
that I think helps a lot just before
In all the
your
fields.
event as
In
well.
all the fields, basically, yeah.
Yes,
In sports,
definitely,
but
definitely.
in all the fields, yes.
Go ahead, Jal. Go ahead, Navya.
So, what do you think the future, like would you have any message for the younger generations for the sport?
For this, not only this sport, but everyone, the younger generation, I would say that at least join one sport. It is very important because this gives you a different kind of goal in your life. And whenever you strive for that goal, that helps you to stay happy, and whenever you accomplish that, it gives you a sense of achievement, and that is very important to be happy in life. And ultimately everyone is earning or doing something or the other just to be happy. So this is very important, I think.
Sir, sorry to interrupt, but I would like to ask you, which is that one level of achievement which is your first target? Like, if you have achieved that, you have your entry to the sport is fully fulfilled. Like that one aim in your life that you want to achieve.
Basically, when I started this sport, I had a different perception. I was thinking like I should at least reach national level. I should reach World Cup once, play for India, and that was my goal. But now I have a different perception, and I basically want every one person in India should know about shooting. So I want everyone to try it out once, and I am trying to make it possible. We have opened the second branch in Mumbai, and I have started with this new thing that is free try, absolutely free. Everyone can try out. Let it be, a person of any age or any category, any gender. It's not, restricted to people. Everyone can join and, just try it out. So this is what I think is my ultimate aim in life.
That's great. It was very motivating, in short.
Yes.
That was,
yeah.
Yeah. To continue.
Yeah, sir, did you have any setbacks in your career, and how did you overcome it?
Basically, I had a few setbacks uh, when it was my fourth year. I've started this shooting game. I was not very good in my competitions, and I was slowly downgrading. I was not doing well in my sport. So the reason was not me or nor my practice, it was my weapon. Basically, I had to do maintenance to my weapon, and that was creating a huge loss to me as financially as well and mentally, because I was spending a lot and nothing was happening great. So ultimately, I asked my dad, "Can I have a new weapon, please? Because this is not the way it should be, and I'm trying very hard, but nothing is happening." So ultimately my dad asked, yeah, he said, yes, we can do something about it, and I brought a new weapon. So this is what happened. So yes.
So I think that your family plays a really important role in your career until now.
Yes.
Especially your dad.
Correct. Because I go up to my dad and ask for everything, and he is like very supportive. He says yes to everything, and that is what helps me in my growing in my career.
Sir, I would like to ask one thing. Recently, you must have heard about Avni Lakera, who was the first Indian woman to win gold in.
Come again.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yeah. Please come again.
So recently, in the Tokyo Paralympics, there was a shooter, Avni Lakera, who was the first Indian woman to win Paralympics. So, what all skills do you think? Like, what made her reach that level? Like, you must have been observing her shooting skills and all that stuff. So, what do you think? Like, what do you think? How did she achieve that? Like, any skill or according to you?
So basically, there are a lot of shooters doing well nowadays. I was not so aware about Paralympic shooting. I knew that this is a category there, but particular shooter I never knew. As a shooter, I never knew about her. But thanks to Paralympics, this a platform that is promoting such athletes. So I got to know, and the way she started shooting, that was very much inspiring. And the best skill that I would say that she has is patience. She has a very good patience level, and she is best at it, I believe.
Okay, sir, that was great. I'd like to let Jal ask a question.
So, do you have any memorable, like, what is your most memorable moment in your career about shooting?
As a sport person, the best part was playing my first nationals. It was like playing international football. So that huge stadium, I saw it for the first time. I had never played nationals in any other sport. I had tried out many other sports as well, like football, karate, and a few other sports, athletics. But playing nationals was a big achievement for me that made me feel proud that I am doing something for at least my state, and later I would do something for my country. So that was the best moment for me up till now.
Yes, so we wish for the same, and we hope that you can achieve all heights. So you mentioned about your family supporting you. What can you tell to the parents who aren't that supportive or are unorthodox and they feel that shooting khali banduk hi uthana, as you mentioned, khali banduk hi uthana hai, you can try something else. Listen. So what do you think? What can you tell those parents, or because we are on the streaming platform, so I feel we can engage as many people as we can. So what do you think, what advice or what message or can we give those parents to let their children enroll in this sport and say that even shooting can reach heights?
Right. Not only shooting, but many other sports as well. I would say that as a parent, what you can do is just let him try out as many sports as he can, because at an age of 10 years or 10 years or 7 years, this is the best age that a student should start his sporting career, and trying out as many sports as he can. But what parents can help they should not start coaching, because coach should do his part, and they can help him with the diet part, his exercise, and many other things. And let's say not keep on hampering him, and ask him to perform good in competition. See, losing is the second part of sport. First is winning and the other is losing. So it's absolutely fine if the student is not performing that great. It's okay, let him try and find his own way to win. So that is what I would suggest all the parents who are listening, that please do not hamper your child. Let him do what he wants, and let him take his own decision and be responsible for his decisions.
Sir, do you think that a player's attitude and mindset before a game, important match, plays a role in their performance?
Obviously, yes. The way you think is very much important, and that is ultimate. See, someone has said that if you believe that you done the job, I mean, if you can do the job, it is halfway done. So that is very much important. Your mindset should be strong as your performance. So yes.
Sir, I would like to ask you one question. It's an interesting one. So basically, according to you, if you were to change any rule of the sport, like you feel that it is unfair or you could have more winning chances if that rule was changed, which rule would it be?
I mean, for personally for me.
Yeah. According to you.
See, there is no such rule that can be changed, and I could have won, because everyone else is in the same platform and is trying to win. So the competition will be tough even if I change the rules, and I believe the rules are made fair enough, and everyone should just play according to the rules.
Okay, sir, that was really good. I would like the others to continue.
Yes, please.
So since shooting is an unfamiliar path, could you give us like the career opportunities to pursue this sport?
Pursue the sport. See, shooting has a lot of career opportunities nowadays. Shooting is doing great as a sport, and in a few years, people are trying in this sport. The main players are trying to bring up an event that is similar to the concept of IPL, something like that. Say Pro Kabaddi League and events like that. They are trying to bring this in action, and there are many sporting opportunities in this sport. One is being an athlete. You can be a very good athlete and participate in international level. So that could be one career opportunity. And the other, when you are not so good at the sport, you can start manufacturing equipments, I would say. Not necessary that you play good. You can help others play good. So that is another, and even after that it is not possible, you experienced a lot and ultimately you could not perform good. You can help, you can take that experience and give it to others. You can start coaching. That can be another career opportunity. And if you can do something else, that is, you can start a new concept or way of training, that can also help, and it can become a career opportunity for you.
Sir, do you think that every sports player should have a plan B? For example, if they do not succeed in the sport, they should have a backup plan.
Obviously, in any field, if you have a backup plan, that helps you to play freely. That if you do not accomplish this, you can do something else. Always there's you're never stressed out because of that. It's not compulsory for you to win. So that takes half of your stress away, and that is very much important to have a plan B. I believe you should have a plan B even if you are in any other field. You should have a plan B as well as, I would say, plan C.
That is absolutely right, sir. I agree with you. So, sir, I would like to ask you a question that in shooting, basically, what aspects do you think should be means people are born with it and which can be earned with hard work? Like basically, which like suppose I have that talent. Like which aspect do you consider as talent and which aspect do you consider as which can be achieved by hard work in shooting?
See, basically, talent is something which can help you to a certain level, and after that you have to work hard. And which skill I would consider being a talent for you, for anyone, is I mean, if you are patient enough, you have good patience, that is a talent for you in this sport. Or I mean, what is hard work and what you can achieve through hard work is uh, consistency. Basically, if you're consistent every time you're doing the same thing again and again, it can ultimately give you a good result. So that comes through hard work.
So there must be times where things don't go your way, and you try your best, but still, something or the other is not like something or the other. No, it doesn't. You feel a bit low. Then how do you encourage yourself at that?
So basically, start thinking about why you started. So this is what I've heard before, and this works good for me. So whenever I feel low, I start thinking about, why I exactly started and why I came into this. Always wanted to be an international player. I wanted to play for India, and that helps you motivate again and stand up and start practicing.
Okay, sir, that was good. So, sir, I would like to ask, what are your views on the women's participation in the sport? Like basically gender equality or the women's participation in the sport?
So I've always seen women participating in this sport, especially, and they perform actually better than men. I don't know why, but yes, they have good. I mean, they have something different that they do good in this sport. Women's play better than men. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, Navya, go ahead.
So what do you think people tend to misunderstand, or like there's a rumor about this sport which most people tend to misunderstand?
So the rumor is, I believe, that it promotes hunting or it promotes violence, but it doesn't. It's an absolutely very calm sport, and it helps to manage anger. It helps you to, not. I mean, you don't get angry immediately whenever if you are in this sport and you've been practicing it for a year, that helps you come out of depression, increases mental happiness, and manage anger ultimately.
So, sir, basically, you are saying that it is a good form to improve your mental health, like along with physical.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
sir.
Along with, because physical fitness is there, as it's a sport, it has to be that you are becoming physically fit. After you start practicing, your diet improves. You do not. I mean, you have to skip junk food. You cannot eat that, because you have to breathe good and eat good when it comes to sports. And so this sport, yes, ultimately it helps a lot.
Okay, sir, that was very informative. Yeah, I agree with you.
Sir, I'd like to ask, which are the most renowned countries for shooting, and where does India stand in those countries?
So basically, there are many countries who perform very well. One of them is India. India is the first. I mean, it's the best country at present where you can try shooting. We have the best coaches, we have the best players, we have world record holders currently, and whenever India participates in any of the sport, any of the shooting event, any of the World Cup, we have the maximum number of medals. But unfortunately, in this Olympic, we could not, achieve any medal. But that's absolutely fine because, as I said, losing is another part of the competition. So it's okay not to win. But India is one of the best countries currently, and it's performing absolutely great. Other countries which are doing good in shooting are USA, Germany, uh, uh, China, obviously, yes. So they are very good at sport. So they are doing again same thing.
That is very matter of pride, basically, as you said. India
Yes.
is
Yes.
top.
Yes.
Yeah. Continue.
So do you think that the sport has lack of opportunities?
Lack of opportunity. I would say this sport, yeah, somewhere or the other, because it needs good infrastructure to practice. You cannot practice it as other sports. You can practice judo, you have to have mats. It's okay, you can start practicing anywhere where there is open space. If you want to practice cricket, you can go to a ground, take a bat and ball, and you can start practicing. You can have nets, you can have a good coach and start practicing anywhere. So as other sports, but in shooting, this is not possible. You have to have a good infrastructure, and then only you can practice, because you have to have good equipment, and these equipments are not that cheap. These equipments are expensive. So I believe this is the part where we have less opportunity to participate in the sport.
So coming to the question, I have a question related to your answer. So basically, sir, what do you think are the facilities, or means basically what is the government doing for the sport? Like, are they providing any infrastructure according to you?
So government is continuously trying to support sports. That is there through various schemes. That is, one is TOPS, that is promoted by Khelo India, and SAI, that is Sports Authority of India. They are trying to sponsor good shooters or good sport person, so they can practice well, and purchase good equipments for practice. So there are many other schemes like TOPS, and the government is trying to help. I mean, they have not created infrastructure as such, but we have our state association, that is semi-government body. It is in Worli, and that is a very good infrastructure. It has electronic targets which are used in international competitions. So everything is provided, I believe.
Sir, I would like to conclude, or like I would like to ask Nishka or any of the members to conclude the meeting with the last question. Basically, if anybody,
Sure.
Yeah, anybody can go ahead.
So I'd like to ask, what do you consider the major skills needed for this sport? Like the skills and strength needed for this shooting sport the most?
Major skill. There are three things that are required. One is technical. Three aspects of shooting are technical, physical, and mental. So you need to be mentally fit, physically fit, and technically sound, so that you perform good in this sport. And anyone who has these things in him, he can or her can do good in the sport. He should be mentally calm and physically fit to start practicing it, because technically sound can be made. I mean, he can become technically sound after he gets coaching from his coach and he gets the information. Later, he can become technically sound. But these two things, I believe, he should be mentally calm, very much patient, and the other part is physically fit. You should not eat junk food. This sport is not physically demanding. Basically, you have to stand in one place, have that sense of balance, and then continuously shoot. That is consistency. You should have good consistency. Yes.
Okay, sir. I think so. We are done here. Like, we don't have any more questions for you. So, Team RCNM, wish you all the best for your the future endeavors. Hope you achieve more and more heights, and we hope to see you in the Olympics representing India very soon.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Someday maybe. Yes.
Yeah, sir. It was great having you.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think so. We are done. Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. It was a pleasure being here.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your insights regarding the same. I think it'll be a great opportunity for the budding artists or the budding enthusiasts to learn from this podcast, and that's the reason we have made it a point so that we can spread awareness about the same. Thank you so much, sir. Have a great day.
That is what. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You have fun.
Thank you, Ankit, sir.
Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you for being here, sir.
Bye.